I believe affects us all. A subject that I have confronted and dealt with many, many times in my journey in life. A subject I have dealt with before I began preaching, and I have confronted and dealt with this subject for the past 48 years in ministry. And I've come to the conclusion, ladies and gentlemen, that no man, no woman comes into this world and leave this world without confronting and addressing this subject. It's a subject of betrayal. Betrayal. Nobody is free and exempted from betrayal. And especially if you are called and chosen by God to perform a special duty, whether from your family, from among your countrymen, it doesn't matter, or your brethren. Betrayal is a spirit. And the first time we heard about betrayal was in heaven. And when it comes to being betrayed, it has nothing to do with what you do good or bad, right or wrong. As a matter of fact, those who betray you, ladies and gentlemen, most of the times will be those you help the most and those you do good to the most, and those you go the extra mile, break your back for the most, are those who betray you. And one of the reasons for betrayal, or in the implication of betrayal, is to break your spirit and wound your spirit. The Bible said, a wounded spirit, who can bear a wounded spirit? The Bible said, a merry heart maketh good like medicine, but a broken spirit dries the bones. Maduwa italuka salim maya. The spirit of a man will sustain him in his infirmity, but a wounded spirit, who can bear, who can endure it? That is the purpose of betrayal. You are betrayed so that your spirit will be wounded and your spirit will be broken. Proverbs 17:22. If you don't understand this secret, you can die prematurely. You can throw in the towel. You can sabotage your own destiny and future. When your spirit is wounded, when your spirit is broken. There are people who commit suicide, hang themselves, end it. They end it because they don't see their way out. I have dealt with so many of that kind. I've been there before in my lifetime, when I was so betrayed and wounded and stabbed so deeply that I stood by and said, is there any meaning to life? And if this is what life is all about, why am I here? Betrayal will separate you from those you love the most. Betrayal will isolate you, take you into a land of isolation, because isolation leads to elimination. Betrayal. The first time we heard of betrayal was in heaven, when the name of a creation, one of God's creation by the name of Lucifer, betrayed the Maker. And just imagine how perfect, loving, kind, blameless God is. And yet, one that he created and invested so much into betrayed him, turned on him, and moved 1/3 of the angels of heaven to back him. Just imagine how God's own creation can turn on him and make God look bad to the 1/3 of the angels of heaven. He succeeded to poison them and to make them believe that God is wrong and he is right. Now, if God himself, the creator, to deal with betrayal, then who then do you think you and I? Who do you think we are? As long as you live till the day you die, especially if you are called, chosen, and anointed to be different from others, to accomplish something in this life, betrayal is something you must arm yourself because you deal with it. So the first time we heard about betrayal was in heaven. Lucifer betraying God. Number 2, Cain betrayed his brother Abel. Number 3, Absalom betrayed his father David. Please write down these things. Joseph was betrayed by his brethren, not by his enemies, but by his brethren. Every now and then, Jesus said, a man's enemies shall be those of his own house. You will be betrayed by loved ones, brethren, family, wickedness in your own house. His own brethren betrayed him. Samson was betrayed twice. By his wife first, second by Delilah, his girlfriend. Sometimes love can betray you. And sometimes what you love the most can betray you. You got to come to the realization. You must know these things. If you study history, and if you live a little long, you will understand that betrayal is part of the process and the journey of life. Ham betrayed his father Noah. Noah was the first righteous preacher on the earth. And he had preached righteousness for 120 years. Then after the flood, he got drunk and naked in his tent. Ham, who only survived because of the man that was drunk. He survived because of the righteousness of his father. He had forgotten that he wouldn't been alive to see the righteousness of his father if it wasn't for that same man. And he went to broadcast and to tell the whole world about his father's nakedness. He did that. He became self-righteous. He felt better than his father. That look at the preacher of righteousness. Behold, the preacher of righteousness. Look at him. I'm better than him. It is difficult to be a leader because most times you are surrounded by people, and every now and then when they see your vulnerability, they use it against you. Sometimes as a leader, people will ask me, Papa, how are you? You can't say I'm hurting. You can't say I'm down. You can't say I'm not feeling myself, because as soon as you say that it will be breaking news front page. Papa is not himself. He's not feeling well. He's hurting. What is hurting? Why? What? They will try to make sense of your pain. So sometimes you have to learn to be tough even when you are hurting, because they don't have to know you are hurting. As soon as they get to know you are hurting, you are finished. You know, Ahithophel said something about David. Very, very powerful. He said to Absalom, give me 12,000 men, choose for me 12,000 men, the best of Israel. And I'll go after your father. And listen to the things he said. He said, I will attack him. Number one, when he's weary. Number two, when he's weak-handed. I will attack when he's weary and weak-handed. Those are moments of vulnerability. And every man, as long as you live, it doesn't matter how full of the Spirit you might be, you face moments of vulnerability. You face moments of weariness when you'll be weak-handed. Then he said, I will attack him. Then I will make him afraid. I will make him afraid. And when he's afraid, I will threaten him. I will threaten his livelihood. I will threaten his future. I will threaten his security. I will threaten his reputation, integrity. I will threaten everything about him. And when he's in that stage of vulnerability, I will threaten him, and all the men around him will run. They will end up leaving him and saying that, you know what? We can't follow this man anymore. He's not in the best of